Is Vault Hunters heroes? Well, yes, and maybe no. Let me explain. Throughout the entire Borderlands games, you could see that every single Vault Hunter from out the games has been dealing with villains in their stories. Like the first group of Vault Hunters from the first game, they were fighting Atlas. And the second, Handsome Jack. And the third, the Calypsos. And if you count the pre-sequel, which, again, I don't really know, that does count. I don't really know what actually. I've never gotten invested in the story much, so I don't really know much about the pre-sequel. But I do know that. Wait, yeah, you're fighting Doll in that game. You're fighting Doll. I think it's another weapon corporation. Oof. Anyways, so yeah, you're fighting all these quote unquote villains, and these Vault Hunters are fighting their villains. All right, but think about what all these villains had in common, or at least from Borderlands 1, 2, and 3. I don't know about pre-sequel if they were after the Vault or not, but that was the goal of the other villains. They were after the Vault. They wanted the power within the Vault. But what if, now hear me out, what if that there was someone evil out there? So evil that they're currently making some screwed up things on other planets, or maybe not just on a planet. They're doing bad things in general, but they're not gold. But even though they're a big villain in their part of a story, whatever made up story you can build up, are the Vault Hunters gonna be dealing with them? I may have explained it wrong. What if there was a villain that was created that wasn't after the Vault? Will the Vault Hunters defeat them because they are bad? Or is because if they were after the Vault, they would be in their way, so they would take them out? I don't know if I'm explaining this correctly. I'm not really good at voice talking and stuff. It's not something I'm doing, and this is the first time I'm talking in front of a camera because I'm a crazy person. Anyways. But if you do get the idea of what I'm trying to say, that makes you wonder, though, doesn't it? What is the Vault Hunters the good guys? Don't forget, they were originally adventurers looking for something that a lot of people claim to be fiction, fake, non-existent. It was like the vaults were a myth, like something rumors made up, and these adventurers were looking for those, and they claimed themselves as Vault Hunters, because they claimed to found the first vault. If the pre-sequel has anything to do with it, then no, they have not found the first vault, but I'm pretty positive they found the first vault on Pandora. So, here and there, I guess. But you can clearly see where I'm coming from here on this idea. So yeah, if the Vault Hunters were really heroes, if it were best to put them in a situation where there is a big villain out there, but that isn't after the vaults, will they deal with those villains? Will they actually take them out, or leave them alone because those villains are not after the vault? They're not. They're busy doing their bad things, while the Vault Hunters are opening vaults and killing monsters and getting loot. And that's not a bad thing. I'm not saying it is, but at the end, why does Vault Hunters usually get praised for finding something that a lot of people at the beginning of the time, again, believed to be a myth? That's the thing I'm trying to say here. That's the thing I really believe at this point. I mean, if you don't believe me, they started thinking that Vault Hunters were heroes in the second game, but really in Borderlands 3, they took you're a hero because you're a Vault Hunter to the next level. All right. And there's some shady people in that new group. Don't get me wrong, I get it that complete killing is available in Borderlands, and it doesn't matter who you do it to in the Borderlands game. But at the same time, it makes you wonder. I think the new group of Borderlands characters are kind of here and there. I mean, I think Amara is like the only considered a hero because she actually fights for the people, but at the same time she has fame and popularity. Mose, I think she would be called a deserter. I guess I don't know. Zane, I mean, he's the closest to I would consider a bad guy, but you don't say he's the bad guy. I just think he's a guy who just has an ego, I guess. But really, you only consider him a bad guy because of his bloodline, because you killed his other two brothers in the other games. So, again, but you shouldn't be judged by your bloodline, or you shouldn't be judged by your past mistakes. You should be judged who you are now. And a flaw in his idea is he's an egotistical, handsome boy. Don't get me wrong, I don't really have a problem with him. I like Zane. I call him Zane. His name's Zane, right? Yeah, his name's Zane, alright? I call him Zach. I call him Zach on purpose. I'm sorry. The point I'm trying to say is that I think the majority of the Vault Hunters, in most cases, other than the fact that they wouldn't fight a villain that wouldn't be after the vaults, also would be claimed to think that majority of the characters could be, maybe not villains, but questionable characters that may do questionable things if, well, they're not careful. Gage. Gage is a prime example. She's not a bad girl, or that does not sound great at all. She's not a bad woman. She's not a bad character, I think. I mean, don't get me wrong, I used to have a crush on her back in the day. But at the same time, if she wasn't a little if you actually listen to her podcast or a little thing of her developing her first death trap, she still killed someone in that moment after death trap was being created. It makes you wonder. This makes you wonder that if people aren't careful for what they do or what they create, it makes them a villain for that kind of accident. And now, don't get me wrong, I get it why Death Trap did it. The girl kind of deserved it, but I'm a person who believes that death is never a thing that people deserve, unless you've done something so despicable that you just can't possibly live in the world. But that's an opinion for another day. But that's the idea of what I'm trying to get by. But this is a fictional game. It's in a fictional world. It's based off a game that I don't really care about story-wise. I just care about playing the game and blowing things up. Because it's a game. And we all get to do that. But other than that, I just hope that maybe somebody learned something out of this. But again, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And see if you guys actually think that, or any other explanations of saying why the Vault Hunters could be heroes or maybe villains, if you have any other opinions of that. I don't think they're villains, by the way. I should have said that first. I don't think they're villains. They're not villains. I'm just saying that maybe some of them are a little questionable here and there, and I think that they're only fighting people who either are evil because they're after the vaults too. That's what I'm trying to say. And I'm sorry to repeat that again, but again. Well, alright, I'm gone now.